Imagine walking through a grocery store, surrounded by shelves packed with brightly colored packages, enticing snacks, and ready-to-eat meals. These convenient options promise quick satisfaction, but beneath the appealing packaging lies a growing concern. Ultra-processed foods, or UPFs, may be quietly undermining our health. Recent research, drawing on data from over 240,000 people, suggests that with each additional bite of these foods, the risk of dying prematurely from any cause may rise. For every 10% increase in calories from ultra-processed foods, the likelihood of an early death increases by nearly 3%. This sobering statistic is part of a mounting body of evidence that challenges the way we eat and think about food. To understand the significance of this finding, it's important to know what qualifies as ultra-processed. The NOVA classification system, developed by nutrition expert Carlos Augusto Montero, divides foods into 4 groups based on their level of processing. The first group includes unprocessed or minimally processed foods. Think fresh fruits, vegetables, eggs, and milk. Foods that come to us much as nature intended. The second group consists of culinary ingredients like salt, herbs, and oils, which are used to prepare and flavor foods. The third group is processed foods, such as canned vegetables or cheese, which combine elements from the first 2 groups. The fourth and final group, however, is ultra-processed foods. These are products that contain little or no whole food. Instead, they are manufactured using chemically altered, inexpensive ingredients and are often loaded with synthetic additives to enhance taste, texture, and shelf life. Ultra-processed foods are designed for convenience and affordability, but their long-term consequences may be more costly than we realize. Montero, who coined the term ultra-processed, argues that there's no reason to believe humans can fully adapt to these products. Our bodies, he suggests, may react to them as useless or even harmful, with the potential for lasting damage depending on our vulnerability and the amount consumed. Critics, however, caution against painting all ultra-processed foods with the same brush. Industry representatives argue that demonizing these products could lead to unintended consequences, such as reduced access to affordable, nutrient-dense foods and increased risk of foodborne illness. Yet multiple studies continue to link even small increases in ultra-processed food intake with negative health outcomes. A February 2024 study found that people who consumed more ultra-processed foods faced a 50% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease and were more likely to suffer from common mental disorders. Other research has linked higher intake to increased risks of anxiety, obesity, sleep disorders, type 2 diabetes, depression, and early death. What's particularly striking is how little it takes to see these effects. Adding just 1 serving, or about 10% more ultra-processed foods to your daily diet, has been associated with significant increases in health risks. In fact, a recent study indicated that such an increase could raise the risk of cognitive decline and stroke, while another found a greater chance of developing cancers of the upper digestive tract. In the United States, where nearly 70% of the food supply is ultra-processed, and 2/3 of calories consumed by children come from these foods, the implications are profound. The latest research goes even further, attempting to estimate the global toll of ultra-processed foods. In countries with high UPF consumption, nearly 14% of premature deaths could be attributed to these foods, while in countries with lower consumption, the figure is closer to 4%. In the United States alone, researchers estimate that eliminating ultra-processed foods could have prevented over 124,000 deaths in 2017. Even countries with relatively low UPF intake, like Colombia and Brazil, would have seen thousands fewer deaths if these foods were removed from the diet. However, experts caution that these numbers are based on theoretical models. The studies show associations, not direct causation. Nutrition scientist Neris Asbury points out that the research cannot definitively say that ultra-processed foods cause early deaths. Other factors, such as physical fitness or socioeconomic status, may play a role. Still, when similar associations are observed across diverse populations and cultures, it becomes harder to dismiss the link as mere coincidence. The reality is that ultra-processed foods are deeply embedded in our modern food system. They offer convenience and affordability, but at what cost? As evidence mounts, the message grows clearer. Every small increase in ultra-processed food intake may carry significant health risks. While eliminating these foods entirely may be unrealistic, becoming more mindful of their presence in our diets is a crucial step toward better health. By choosing more whole, minimally processed foods and being aware of what goes into the products we consume, we can take control of our well-being, one bite at a time.